This is the great legend Shemp Howard coming at you live, people. I've got a special story for you today. Right now, you're looking at my knee right there, okay? Because I don't want to show you what I have to show you just yet. We're going to talk a little bit about it first, because that's what it's all about. It is all good in the neighborhood, people. And today I want to show you some of my Halloween action figure collectibles. Check it out. Look at this guy. The Invisible Man. Series 3, Sideshow Toys. Check it out. Mint condition in the box, man. It is so cool. Invisible freaking Man right there. The Universal Studios Monsters logo. All that good stuff. Great, great collectible. I'm going to be putting these on the bay in September. I got some more to show you here. That's Claude Rains as the Invisible Man. That was Universal Pictures 1933. Back when Great Legend was a kid, I loved watching those old horror films. They used to run the reruns, and they do a double matinee usually on Sundays, and that's when I kind of started getting into these. This is from 2000, the year 2000. So this one's been out in the garage, actually. I had to look for this one. So the box is kind of like, see, it's not all the way sealed. You know, it's kind of come off, I guess, due to some of the heat. But other than that, I mean, it's in the box. You know, it's not going to be coming out. So that's Invisible Man. I will be putting that one on the bay pretty soon. So it's not all the way sealed. If you're on eBay right now looking, it's not all the way sealed, but you can add a little clear glue to it if you wanted to seal it back. The back of the box does have some creases, you know, so it's not going to be, you know, totally mint condition or anything like that. A couple of corner dings and dents there, but it's in the box, you know, if you want to set it up. Here's what it looks like set up. Invisible Man right here, people. You only find it here at the Great Legend Show. See, it comes with a base plate as the Invisible Man, Claude Rains, 1933. You can pose it with these little books or whatever you want to do with it. So, pretty cool. That's the first figure. Second figure here we have classic Lon Chaney, the Phantom of the Opera. And see, some of these have these heads in here. You can replace the head on them. See, like Invisible Man has like a little invisible head there. You can replace the head on these. This is from, I think, Series 2. Yeah, Series 2. This was, what was the year on this? 1999. So Series 2 was 1999. See, same thing. 12 points of articulation. Put him on his little figure there. It's pretty cool. Phantom of the Opera, Lon Chaney Sr. This movie came out in 1925. This was actually a silent movie. It's a very, very good movie. It's one of the greatest horror films of all time, and probably the best horror film of the silent era. And you know, it has Lon Chaney Sr., the man of 1,000 faces. I mean, that was his deal. You know, he played Hunchback of Notre Dame, where the hell you want to call it. So, very good figure there. This Phantom of the Opera right there. So, gonna be selling that puppy on the bay. Just too sweet. One of these days, getting it on the bay. So yeah, probably this September you're going to find these on eBay. Let's check out what we have next. Series 1, circa 1999, Sideshow Toys, Boris Karloff. Universal action figure. And I want to say these are the 12-inch figures. I'm not really sure. They may be the 8-inch ones. I don't have a ruler or anything, but they're pretty tall action figures. But they look great if you choose to display them, or they even look great in the package. This was 1932 was when this movie was made. After Boris Karloff starred in the movie Frankenstein, you know, they loved the way Karloff did, so they wanted to use him as the Mummy, which was the classic. I think the guy's name was Karas or something like that in the Mummy movie. So that's The Mummy comes with some old Egyptian scriptures, things of that nature. So that's the Mummy right there. Got the Mummy. That'll be going on the bay. All of these are going to be going on the bay coming this September, people. So these are really cool. So we've seen The Invisible Man, The Phantom of the Opera, and The Mummy. Claude Rains, Lon Chaney, and Boris Karloff, respectively. Great, three great actors. I mean, that guy in the middle, Lon Chaney Sr., the man of 1,000 faces. I mean, everyone. I mean, the thing about it was he did his own makeup, and everyone wanted to know like how he did it, how he made all those weird faces. I mean, the guy was way beyond his time. He died at an early age, but they were actually going to use him in the 1931 Universal's Dracula, but he had already died before the movie went to the, before they made the movie, so tough luck there. But anyways, man, great guy, and he had his little case, his little box that he did his makeup on. That was on in the Smithsonian. Look at the detail of these figures. I mean, pretty amazing, if you kind of look at the detail. They look just like the guys from the movie, It's really great detail from Sideshow Toy. All right, here's one from, I think this was the 50s here. 1954. Creature from the Black Lagoon. This was a great movie. And, all it says on the bottom is The Creature. Because the thing about it was, they had multiple actors playing the creature. They had an actor that played him underwater. They had an actor playing him above ground. So you can't beat The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, that was a great movie. One of the first movies to have the underwater action. They put the camera underwater and everything. Here's the picture of what it looks like on the stands. Got a little fishing net and everything. Creature from the Black Lagoon. He had two sequels. The movie spawned two sequels. It was Revenge of the Creature, 1955, originally shot in 3D. Was, I think, billed as the first 3D movie. And some of those underwater effects were just totally great, man. They were great, man. It was just like, I can't even describe it. I haven't watched it in 3D, but supposedly all the old fogies say it was pretty good. So yeah, that was The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Also, if you ever do watch Revenge of the Creature, the second one, the third one, of course, was called Creature Walks Among Us. It's when he was able to breathe, actually, out of water more. But the number 2, Revenge of the Creature, 1955, look for Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's first appearance in a movie. Or at least that's what I've been told. So he has a really quick scene as a scientist. I mean, maybe it's like 15-second scene where I don't even know if he got any speaking roles in it, but I think it was during a little, maybe after he did some of the stuff in Rawhide. But anyway, so that's a little trivia for you. The next one up is Boris Karloff, his bride, Elsa Lancaster, classic actress from the old days. And this is from, of course, she played the bride of Frankenstein in the Bride of Frankenstein movie. So that was 1935. They had to make a sequel. I mean, Frankenstein, when people first saw that face, it was 1930s. I mean, people ran out of the building screaming. Check her out. Full decor right there. Bride of Frankenstein, 1935. Two heads. Do the bandage look, with the bandage head. Put the bandage head on. She's got the bandage. And then she's got the little robe in there. Put that on her. This was Season 2 of Sideshow Toys. Series 2, whatever. 1999. I've had these over 10 years. I guess about 12 years. And it's taking up room. So, it's time to make a little cash. Just in time for the Halloween season coming up. Going to be putting these on the bay in September, people. May put them all in one huge set. I don't know how that would do, or I may just do a either $10 a piece or $25 a piece. It all depends on, what I want to do. Next up for grabs, the third movie after Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. There was a movie called The Son of Frankenstein. And Colin Clive played Frankenstein in the 1931 Frankenstein and the 1935 Bride of Frankenstein. Colin Clive was Dr. Henry Frankenstein. And, damn, I think it's Henry. I can't remember, but what a great movie. It's been years since I've really watched them. I've got the whole collection over in my DVDs. But the son of Frankenstein here, we have Igor. A lot of people think that Igor was the hunchback guy in the normal Frankenstein movie. That wasn't the case. That guy's name was Fritz, played by Dwight Frye. Very good actor. Dwight Frye played Renfield in the 1931 Dracula, and he played Fritz in 1931. Fritz was the hunchback assistant of Dr. Frankenstein, Colin Clive's character. Anyway, so back to the deal. This is Bela Lugosi, and, we all know Bela Lugosi from, The Cape, Dracula. But Bela Lugosi had numerous little roles in these Universal movies. There's some bowling pins down there. It has nothing to do with this video, but anyway, great. This was he did great in this. Great character, Igor. And Igor, of course, wanted to bring the monster to life and cause havoc for everybody. And even at one point, Igor traded brains, or he went into Frankenstein's body. I think that was in The Ghost of Frankenstein. And then Frankenstein was played by Lon Chaney Jr. in that movie. But this was a great... he did great. Son of Frankenstein, he played Igor, and Ghost of Frankenstein, he played Igor, and they tried to hang him. He's got this weird neck, and something about his neck was made out of wood. He played that little flute. Very eerie and cool, and Basil Rathbone did a great job as Frankenstein's son. We all know Basil Rathbone from probably the greatest actor ever to play Sherlock Holmes. I know some of you young people really love Robert Downey Jr., and let me tell you, Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor, but he doesn't hold a damn cup of piss to what Basil Rathbone did in the 30s. So Bela Lugosi, a.k.a. Igor from The Son of Frankenstein. That's Series 3. That's actually the year 2000. Series 3 also was in the, let's do it like this, was Invisible Man. Lay him out like this so you can see these bad boys. So yeah, Universal, man. And, there was a company, I think it's called Remco, used to make Universal Monsters action figures in the early 80s, late 70s. I would buy those, and I'd have the play set, and I'd play those figures all the time when I was, a little kid. I guess they came out in the early 80s. I must have been like 6 or 7, but I remember watching these movies on, after my granddad and my dad and all of them, they'd take their nap on Sunday after the Dallas Cowboys would play, and I watched these double feature creature whatever films, monster films. Next guy I want to show you, Series 1. The original. Boris Karloff, there he is. Torches, he didn't like fire. The normal Frankenstein movie, Universal action figures. All of these except for The Invisible Man, their boxes are pretty clean. I mean, you may see some minor creasing in the boxes, but they're pretty mint condition. I've had these in the closet a long time. Invisible Man actually had to dig out of the garage, so he was kind of dusty. I had to dust him off a little bit. 1931, Boris Karloff's as Frankenstein. Of course, we all know Karloff, the monster himself, never held no freaking torch. And, of course, we know that this guy wasn't called Frankenstein. He was Frankenstein's monster. Because Dr. Frankenstein made the monster, so they call it Dr. Frankenstein's monster. Tragic scientific experiment. Man's attempt to create life. You may remember the classic line Colin Clive said, "It's alive! It's alive!" Freaked all out and stuff. He's got that monster square, stitched together head, horrific facial scars protruding, electrodes mark his crude beginnings. He walks with the awkward, lurching gait of the recently dead and only speaks in grunts and growls, straining to make himself understood. Boris Karloff. What a great actor. Great actor. Took hours to put this makeup and stuff on, especially the head, and plus these boots were so thick, the shoulder pads, everything he wore said to give him a bad back. So not only are you getting to see my collectibles and possibly items that are going to go on eBay, but the thing is, you're learning a little history about Universal monsters and some of these characters that were really big in the 30s, 40s, 50s. Started in the 20s with Phantom of the Opera, Lon Chaney Sr. Okay, let's see our next one. Is another Series 1. Lon Chaney Jr., the son of Lon Chaney Sr. Lon Chaney never wanted Jr. to be an actor or anything. He wanted him to go into a profession, a working profession. I think he tried doing some odd jobs here and there. I don't remember what he said he did. But anyway, there's the silver cane in there. Of course, that's the thing that eventually killed him. A little wolf trap there. Really good looking figure. I mean, that is Lon Chaney Jr.'s Wolfman. These figures, I mean, Sideshow Toys here, people. Classic edition. They did a great job on these figures. Amazing. This is Series 1. I guess all the Series 1 were Mummy, Frankenstein, and Wolfman. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and tell it to you. It's not on, I don't think it's on this deal here, but I've got it memorized by heart, and I think you ought to too. For every man who is pure and hot and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. Classic Wolfman poem right there. And then in the later editions, it was the autumn moon is bright. Well, hell, Wolfman was coming out in all these sequels. They even did one where it was Wolfman versus the Frankenstein monster. And what was funny about that, they would change it to, for every man is pure in heart and says his prayers by night, may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms. And listen to this, when the moon is full and bright. So it didn't matter if it was autumn anymore. Anytime the moon was full, Lon Chaney was going to, or Lawrence Talbot, later in the movies they called him Larry Talbot, he was going to turn into that wolf. And a funny thing, Claude Rains actually played the dad of Lawrence Talbot in the movie. And it was Claude Rains who used the silver-tipped cane to kill the wolf. And then he found out, you know what? His son was the wolf. So, yeah. This next one you're about to see was a limited edition. And, I know there's a lot of people out there that like that limited edition stuff. This was, you couldn't get this in stores. You had to special order it online. This is none other than I bid you welcome. Bela Lugosi, people. Bela freaking Lugosi. And what's that girl's name in Twilight, There it is, Bella. It all goes back to the man. The greatest, undeniably the greatest vampire actor, Jesus, probably in I don't know how many centuries, people. Here he is. Bela freaking Lugosi as Dracula, 1931. The strongest. Look at that. Comes with the cape. Now, I remember back in the day, I ordered this from their website, and they didn't include anything to hang the cape on him. And they sent me something in the mail. And honestly, you could see the cape is behind there on the stool, on the little thing that he stands on. But the little string that attaches the cape isn't on there. So if you take this guy out of the package, you're going to want to use a thin black string to tie the cape around his neck. That's the best bet of what you can do. They sent me some kind of package, but I honestly do not know where it is. And of course, Dracula came out 1931. He's got that whole that stance when he's coming down the stairs, and Renfield is there. He comes down those stairs and he goes, "I bid you welcome." And then, Dwight Fry's character, Renfield's getting really scared, and he says, I don't know, he got scared. The wolves were howling or something, and Dwight Fry's just shivering, getting all scared and everything. And he goes, he said, what Bela Lugosi said, "Listen to them, children of the night. What music they make." And the cool thing about this Hungarian actor, Bela Lugosi, was he did not know English. He didn't know English. So he spoke with his Hungarian accent, and not knowing English, it just sounded so damn cool. Kind of like Alan Rickman, when Alan Rickman played Hans Gruber in Die Hard. Alan Rickman didn't really know English, so he had that great accent in the original Die Hard movie. But yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. Of course, there's a little, you know, like I said, there is some creases on these boxes and all. Little mess up right there, but unopened. Very cool, you know, if you're a collector of old monster memorabilia or action figures or whatever you may like to collect. This is my little collection of Universal Monster action figures. I mean, I wouldn't call them action figures. I would more like probably display these, if anything. If I had a big room to display stuff in. As you can see on the bottom, I have those two there. Good rivals between them. Of course, Boris Karloff had more roles due to Bela having that thick accent, and plus Bela got addicted to heroin in his later years. Of course, Lon Chaney Jr., you can't count him out either. He was a big guy, also played in a lot of westerns, but always never could quite get out of his dad's Lon Chaney Sr.'s shadow there. But yeah, I hope you like this video. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put these figures up, and then some of you young people will get out some figures that you remember.